I feel bad about him now. If this is true, it's making me feel sad about him.
I just think, that's what I think. All right, let's move on, Kike, to the other shit.
Yeah.
Halo, episode 6. All right. Can already tell Kike doesn't like it. I can tell by his face. I just want to say, to me, they're the best episode in the world, and I'll explain it as we go through it. And Kike, you can comment about
No. Yeah, I'll stop you.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna fucking elaborate that much.
Yeah, we'll pause. We'll talk. Whatever. Here we go. From the beginning, it starts off with Halsey, and they're in the ship, and he's looking at her, and he's fucking pissed. I mean, he got a face where she's like, "Bitch, you're fucking
liar,
dead.
bitch.
You're dead." And she tries to smile at him like, "It's okay," and he looks at her like, "Fuck you. I'm gonna kill you." That's I
feel up for him.
Yeah, that's fucking badass. But then we get to see Kai, the woke ass fucking. She's screaming and shit in a medical bay, and they inject her and shit because she got fucked up by those aliens, and she's all screaming and shit. And Master Chief is still fucking pissed, but then they talk about the little girl, the little woke ass Lady Gaga girl, and they say that she passed out when they picked her up, but she before she passed out, she told them that they took her captive since she was a little girl. And so Master Chief doesn't trust her. From the beginning, he's like, what the fuck?
Doesn't he say like these kind of fucking people don't take people in?
Yeah.
They fucking make them their own.
Yeah, they don't take prisoners.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't take prisoners. So he doesn't trust her right away. He doesn't trust her. He doesn't trust her at all. And then we get back to Reach, and Halsey goes into some lab, and this motherfucker goes and he fucking tears the controls and locks her in there, and he turns on the decontamination shit.
Oh,
and
that was a cool part for me. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Do that shit. Let's see how far it goes, motherfucker.
Yeah. And Cortana's all like,
I have no control over this.
You're gonna kill her. Deactivate it. And he's all like, make me do it. And she goes, Master Chief, I cannot make you. She goes, stop lying. You can make me. Go ahead. Make me do it. Yep. He's like, no, I cannot control you. And she's like, well, you shut me down. And he goes, that's all I can do. I can shut you down, but if I shut you down, she's still going to die. I cannot free her. You're the only one that can free her. And this motherfucker's all like, well, I'm going to find... Oh, shit, I fucked up. This motherfucker's all like, well, I'm going to find out this true. And he starts letting the clock run out and shit. And this lady starts fearing for her life. And literally, he didn't even do it at 1 second. He waited till the thing went off and then pulled her out. And then he looks at her and he tells her, don't get comfortable. I just did it to find out how much control Cortana has on me.
Yeah.
And
don't
she's all like,
comfortable, bitch.
Yeah, don't get comfortable, bitch, because I'm gonna fuck you up the first chance I get.
That was the badass fucking part for me. I was like, that was cool as fuck. I like that.
That's why I texted you. I was like, I only saw the first 10 minutes, and this is badass. I was like, this is badass.
Okay, dude, that was fucking cool. Yeah,
she gets what she deserves in this one completely. Yeah. And then we move on. He's all pissed off. And we see that these woke ass motherfuckers that are like way up there running the show. They're not even the generals and shit. It's like the Joe Bidens and Nancy Pelosi's and shit. And they come over here and start telling these motherfuckers, "Hey, you are not delivering. You guys are fucking up. Every mission you're doing, you're fucking up. And you better start delivering some shit." And fucking the Indian ladies all like, "Well, what the fuck? You guys never even been to war and shit. Like, yeah, you guys never even been to war and shit.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, you want to come over here and talk shit?" And they tell her like, "You know what? If you don't show us results or give us like." Somebody needs to be blamed for this shit. She goes, and if you don't show us results, we're going to take the Spartans away from you, and we're going to control them. And she's all like, fine, I'll give you someone to blame and shit. And she walks away. And then we see they send Master Chief to go talk to the little girl, because the little girl says she won't talk to anyone but him.
Yeah, of course.
The woke-ass girl. And he goes over there, and he tells her right away, I don't fucking trust you, motherfucker. You've been living with those fucking squid aliens and shit. Mm-hmm. And you're too pale for me, motherfucker. I don't trust you.
You look like you haven't gotten fucking suntan, bitch.
You look like you haven't been outside in years. And he looks her in the eye.
Vitamin D3, bitch.
Yeah. He looks her in the eye and shit, and he fucking tells her like, tell me the truth and shit, you little bitch. And she tells him like, no, it's like you're like me. And he's like, what do you mean I'm like you? He's like, you're a blessed one. And he starts remembering what that crazy crackhead told him.
Oh yeah.
He starts remembering what
That guy's a really good actor.
Yeah, that guy was the best actor, man.
He was like, it's almost like they took a crackhead from California and they were like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I want to be in a movie."
California. I've seen him down here. The motherfucker look like the guy down the street. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, he freaks the fuck out because he's all like, "I'm a blessed one," and he fucking gets up and leaves. And she's like, "You're special like me," and he leaves. And so then he goes to go find Halsey, and she's being interrogated. And this is weird, man, because at first I thought the Indian lady and the general were General Keys, that they were there, but they're like, no, they're somewhere else with a little apparatus, and they're like holograms there, just watching the interrogation.
They're all seeing eye.
Yeah.
The all seeing eye.
Yeah, so they're basically interrogating her, trying to get her to confess so that they can blame it on her. That's what they're doing, and they're getting it all on tape and shit. And then Master Chief walks in there and he tells them, "Get the fuck out of here. I want to talk to her." And this guy's scared of Master Chief and he's like, "Yes, Master Chief." And he leaves and shit like a pussy. But Master Chief gets there, and then the little girl, the little Miranda Keys, the little fucking little Indian girl shows up, and she plugged herself in so she can watch the conversation and shit.
Yeah, she got an IP address.
Yeah. And then something crazy happens, Kike. Master Chief tells her, "Tell me the truth." And I thought this bitch was gonna lie, but this bitch very coldly, very unemotionally told him the fucking truth.
Like a lizard.
Yeah, no emotions. She told him, like, "We kidnapped you, and yes, I was right. We replaced you with a clone that was gonna get sick and die. So yeah, that was your parents, and we don't give a shit what happened to them." And yes, and he gets all pissed. And she's like, "You don't understand. I did it for the survival of the human race and shit." Yeah, and she tells him, "We need to finish the mission. We need to finish what we started and shit." And he looks at her and he tells her, "We are gonna finish, but I'm gonna do it without you, bitch." Yeah. What do you think of this crazy fucking lady? No emotions. Like, just told him, like, "Yeah, we stole you from your family, and then we fucking replaced you with a clone that was gonna die so that they could be sad and shit and think you're dead. And then we're gonna do experiments on you and shit. And hopefully, if you survive, you'll be a fucking Superman."
This is really fucking crazy because, like, remember the Truman Show? She played a very different fucking kind of person.
Yes, night and day.
She's a really good actress, dude.
She's a evil fucking thing here, man.
Yeah, she's a fucking object, like reptilian fucking bitch, dude.
DNA.
It was pretty fucked up, but I mean, still. I like the action scenes a lot more. I was thinking Halo was going to be a lot more action stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of dialogue in this episode, and I think that's why I didn't like this one. I like the episode that was previous to this one better. But again, proceed.
Well, I like it because it's story driven, and these are the stories I'm interested in. Like I said, I'll explain more towards the end of the episode. But I get it. What they showed here, this whole episode that they showed. That's the only story I'm interested in. And those are the only characters I'm interested in. But I'm going to keep going. So she tells Master Chief the truth. And what's fucked up, Kike, is that the little Indian girl, Miranda Keys, is there. And she sees her mother confessing, saying all the horrible things she's done. And she's like, "Man, my mother is really a horrible fucking person. Like, not only does she treat me like shit, but she just robs babies and does experiments on them and shit. Like, she don't give a fuck.
For the better good of the government." Yeah.
Well, to her, it's for the betterment of the human race. That's the way she thinks about it. She doesn't even think the government, but yeah, it is the government. But yeah.
They want soldiers.
Master Chief tells her, "Fuck you. I am going to stop the aliens. I'm going to find the Halo, and you're not going to be part of it." And he walks away and shit. And when he runs into Miranda, and he tells Miranda, "Hey, go find the object, because this little girl, the woke ass little Lady Gaga, told me that she can feel it, she can touch it too. So make sure somebody's guarding it." And so she leaves. And then Cortana shows up. "Master Chief, what would you like me to do?" And he basically tells her, "Fuck off, Cortana." And Cortana's like, but that's all. I don't know what else to do." And she's all like, "Well, you solve problems. Go solve a problem. Just fuck off." And so she's like all sad and disappears because she's just on her own. And then from then on, and I was kind of glad I wanted to know more Cortana and shit. Master Chief goes and she talks to Kai, and he tells Kai the truth. Hey, they stole us from our parents and shit. And Kai's all like, our parents could still be alive? They're somewhere out there and they think we're dead? And even John starts thinking, yeah, they might be. And he's like, fuck. And she's all like, did you tell the other guys? Did you tell Rids and the other motherfucker? And he's all like, no, I'll tell them when they're ready. And she's like,
once I take the little fucking shit out of their ass.
Yeah. She's like, when they're ready. Yeah. They got to get the suppository out. And then he looks at her and he tells her, but get better because we're still Spartans. We're still soldiers, motherfucker. Yeah. And I'm going to need you. You know, it don't matter if you have feelings now. We're still at war, bitch. There's aliens out there. So you better, and you're a superhuman. So you better fucking.
Man up.
Yeah, man up, bitch. You know, how do they say it? I forgot.
I don't know. I mean, you're the one who's the knowledgeable on this shit. But
yeah, I was gonna say, stack that pussy up, bitch. Yeah. Stack it up, motherfucker. Anyways, then the Indian lady, she calls the Halsey in, and she tells Halsey, hey, they're giving me shit upstairs and shit. And Halsey tries to tell her, well, I have videotape and all this shit that you also were part of this cloning and stealing the kids. So if you want, we can all go to jail and arrest it together. And the lady says, yeah, I know you would do that. But I also know that you would really not want to go to jail. Like, I know you. You could threaten me all you want. But in reality, you would fucking hate it to be in jail. He goes, so this is what's going to happen, bitch. We're going to blame you. I'm going to put you in a secret lab where you're still going to work for me. No one's going to know. And you're just going to be there. And you're only going to have access to what I give you. And by the way, I'm giving your lab and all the Spartans and everything to your daughter. Because I'm going to promote her like you never did, bitch. And she calls the cops and they take her away.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. She fucked her over. She was going to get her back.
A little bit of justice in a sense, but not really because she's in this shit too. Like, she's just getting rid of fucking, like, proof.
No, she still uses her. Look, this is kind of taken from the books. In the books, they go into this, but in the books, they make it look like she died. And then they keep her as a prisoner, and they make her work for the government as a secret. And she's like there locked up in a room, by herself. And she gets
like
old.
Dr. Baxter.
Yeah.
From the TNMT.
Baxter Stockman. That's basically what they're going to keep. They're going to keep her.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give her access to anything. And she's fucked. They gave her daughter everything, her lab and all that shit. She hates her daughter because she's brown and shit. She's like, fuck, I gave. Yeah. She hates her. That's why she hates her. Yeah, she's the racist, not me, Kike.
Right? No, okay.
She is. She's white, pale, and heartless. Anyways, we're gonna move on, Kike. Master Chief starts feeling sick and he goes to check himself. Kike, I'm gonna go and stick my hand in this hole. This hole is gonna tell me if I'm fucking alive or dead. And he sticks his Kike. He sticks his hand in a hole, and then they piss me off.
Whenever you feel sick, you stick your finger up a hole.
Yeah. The worst part of the episode, Quan appears.
Oh my god.
And she appears and she says, are you going to leave? And he looks at her and he's like, what the fuck's going on? He's hallucinating and shit. And this is the worst. And I'm telling you, that's the worst part of the episode. I don't give a shit about Quan.
Nobody gives a shit about her.
Nobody gives a shit about Quan. What does Quan have to do with any of this? Nobody gives a shit about Quan or fucking Madrigal or none of that shit. So I'm glad this was only like 2.5 seconds and I never have to see her fucking little Asian face again. All right.
Okay, dude. Like, why do you have to fucking say
I'm describing her, Kike. All right, I'm going to call her Mexican face because she doesn't have a Mexican face.
No, just say this little fucking girl and that's it.
I mean, that's really like, I'm a really descriptive person, Kike. We're a Spotify people. I said a little girl. Everybody's going to imagine like a little white girl or a little fucking, ginger or something.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
hey, you gotta explain to people what they're looking at.
I mean, you could have said just Quan and people would know.
No, Kike, there's some brownskis that are named Quan also, you dumbass.
No, they're named Juan, pendejo.
No, well, that too, but there are Quans that are fucking brownskis, motherfucker.
I don't think so.
Yeah. You just don't know because you're not cool. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Like rich homie Quan, motherfucker. Anyways, we move on. So then Kai goes back to the Spartans, you know, and she's all like happy to be back there, and they're all checking their guns. They're ignoring her because they're all like, I'm more interested in guns and shit. And they're talking about guns, and she's all like, whatever. And she thinks about telling them, but she looks at them and she sees how they're acting like fucking robots, and she's all like, I'm just gonna keep quiet, you know. I think she's starting to understand, like, we need to remove their pellets before we fucking tell them.
Of course.
Because as robots, they're not going to give a fuck. So that's pretty cool that at least she shuts up. Oh, dude. The worst part, not the worst part as far as that this sucked. I'm talking about, like, piece of shit. She calls her daughter to come see her, Halsey, in her prison. It's a badass fucking, like, condo and shit, you know.
I know, dude.
Sky view and everything. Hey, but they have a little drone. They're watching her 24/7.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah. They have a little drone outside watching her and all that shit. But look at her, man. I mean, I wish I was in prison like that. I'd commit a crime right away if I were up like that and shit.
Well, I'll tell you where they fucked up, but proceed.
Yeah. So, anyways, the little girl's there, and she tries to tell her, "Look, man, I'm sorry that I gave birth to you. I don't like children." And I wish I could have explained it to you when you were a teenager that I don't like kids. And then she cries, and the little girl's all like, "What the fuck? I've never seen her like this and shit." And she tells her she's sorry, and then she walks away. Like, okay, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" So she has feelings. But then she leaves, and this woke ass motherfucker comes out of nowhere, hiding this fucking pervert. This pervert ass motherfucker shows up, and she pulls out these contact lenses because she was fucking scanning her retina, so that they can get access to the lab and shit. Because they gave it to the little girl. Oh, what a crocodile fucking bitch! Crocodile tears, lying fucking.
And you don't think the fucking drone was taping all of this shit?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was, but we don't know. We don't know where this story's gonna go.
I mean, it was right there in the background. I saw that fucking thing. It was still floating in the background. We don't know where
this is gonna go. She didn't do anything wrong. She went to go visit her mom, talk to her.
And the guy was hiding like nothing, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, why this guy is fucking hiding in the back, and why is she taking shit out of the fucking ice?"
Well, I don't know if that's what's gonna come up later. We don't know.
I mean, I think if they're not gonna fucking like acknowledge that, that's gonna be fucking stupid. I'm like, come on, man. Like, there's a drone looking at you. Come on.
We'll see. We'll see what they bring it up, Kike.
That's why I fucking got mad. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I mean, the fucking drone's right out there. Come on.
All right. If they don't bring it up in the next episode, we can trash it. I'm gonna fuck down because we don't know where they're going with this. Yeah, I don't know, man. This chick is the worst. I mean, not like that. She's the bad guy of the series, not the aliens. She's the worst person in the show. The little woke ass fucking Indian girl, Miranda Keyes, tells Master Chief, "Hey, you and Lady Gaga have the same DNA, and you have the gene that no one else has. You're like 2 in a billion. Like there's something special." When he says that, he remembers that she said, "Blessed one." So he goes back to talk to her, and his little bitch looks him right in the eye, and because he starts fucking feeling sick and shit, and she looks him right in the eye, and she tells him like, "Dude, you're getting sick, aren't you? You're dying." And he's like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, "Well, because I mean, I touched the object too. He used to give me memories. He used to give me they would make me touch it, and they used to give me memories." Yeah, that's what she said. The aliens would make me touch it, and I hated it because it would give me memories, and it would start making me sick.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And he says, "But then the aliens told me, give in to the visions, and you'll see." And
the visions.
Yeah, give in to the visions, and you'll feel better. And she says she finally gave in, and then it felt great. And she told Master Chief, by the way. Yeah. She tells Master Chief, I can show you too.
You need to touch it too. You'll feel better afterwards.
Yeah. That's exactly what she told him. Well, then, like, he gets mad and he leaves there. He doesn't even say nothing to her. He just leaves, and he goes and tells Miranda Keyes. Oh wait, no. Before that, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Cortana appears to Dr. Halsey. He tells Dr. Halsey, "I fucking broke the firewall," and the little fucking the pervert's all like, she's all like, "Do you want me to fix the patch of how I got in?" And then the guy's like, "No one can break my shit." It's like, well, yeah,
I'm
she
here,
did.
pendejo.
Yeah, well, she did. Yeah, she did, you pussy.
You dumbass. How the fuck do I know? Why am I, pendejo?
So this Cortana, little lapdog, fucking doing all the work here. And she tells her, give me access. Let me see what's going on. You know, show me what my daughter's doing and shit. And they're all like, well, Master Chief isn't going to touch the fucking object and shit. And she's like, she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's brown. And she's all pissed. And this little girl tells Master, yeah, well, that's really what she's thinking. All right, that's why she doesn't like her daughter. That's the truth, man. But their little girl, she tells Master Chief, like, we're not supposed to be doing this. Like, it's like my second day in this position, and I'm already breaking like a gazillion rules. Yeah. And she tells Master Chief, I guess I turned out to be I have a little bit of my mother in me after all. And Master Chief goes, you and me both. He says it angry. It's like, yeah,
that's
that bitch
how you
made
do a
me
revolution,
too.
Bitch.
Yeah, that bitch made me. She made both of us and shit. So we're breaking all the rules now. He touches the goddamn thing, and the little girl, the woke ass Lady Gaga girl, she starts feeling something, and she says, "Get me, Master Chief! Something's happening. I don't know what he's doing." And she attacks the ordinate, and she's gonna kill her because she pulls out her little lightsaber from her fucking finger like an idiot. That pisses me off. But Master Chief touches the object, and it causes her to go into a seizure, and she passes out. And they both start dying. Their vitals, they're dying and shit. And then they finally stabilize and they're calm. And Master Chief...
They're synchronized.
Yeah, they're synchronized. And Master Chief wakes up because he finally let go. He remembered what the little girl told him. Yeah. You need to give in to the visions and it'll stop. And he gave into it. And he wakes up. Fucking, like planet Earth. He looks around and shit. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he sees it. He's on the Halo ring. This was the best shot of the show. And then the little woke-ass girl is there too, Kakar.
I know, that's so weird because it's like, like both endings of Moon Knight in this were like almost the same. It was like, oh, like they wake up and they're like in the heavens. Like, what? Like, I saw back to back both, and I was just like, okay, this is the same episode.
I didn't think they were gonna show the Halo ring until the end. This is
pretty cool. Yeah, when he went and like looked around like this and he saw the ring, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, like shit like this, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and check out the full podcast on the link to the right where we discuss more topics we don't post on these short videos. Peace.